Imagine stepping into a vehicle so precisely built, so intelligently designed, that the moment the door closes behind you, everything outside of it simply fades away. The seat adjusts before you ask it to. The cabin already knows your preferred temperature. The road ahead is being read, analyzed, and responded to before your eyes even register the curve. And the quality of every surface surrounding you does not just say luxury, it defines it. That vehicle is the 2027 Mercedes-Benz E-Class. And right now, every luxury automaker on the planet is watching what Mercedes has done with this car. Because this is not just a new model year. This is reportedly a fundamental reimagination of what a luxury sedan should be in the modern world. I am about to walk you through every single detail of this machine, from the outside in. And here is the part you need to stick around for. There is one piece of technology inside this car that nobody in the automotive media is giving the attention it deserves. When we get there, you will completely understand why the 2027 E-Class may be the most significant luxury sedan released this decade. Stay with me, we are just getting started. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Auto Elite World. This is the channel where we go beyond the spec sheet, cut through all the noise, and give you the real story behind the vehicles that actually matter. If you are new here, you picked a great time to land on this channel. Make sure you subscribe before this video is over because the content we have lined up is something you genuinely do not want to miss. Today, we are going deep on one of the most
anticipated luxury vehicles of the year.
The 2027 Mercedes-Benz E-Class has been generating serious conversation across the automotive world. And after going through everything that has been reported and anticipated about this car, I can tell you with full confidence that the attention is absolutely deserved. There is a lot to cover, so let us get right into it. Before we go into the specifics, let me give you some context on why this particular vehicle is creating so much buzz, because understanding that actually makes everything we are about to cover land harder. The E-Class has never been just another sedan in the Mercedes lineup. The S-Class is the flagship, the C-Class handles the volume, but the E-Class is where Mercedes puts its soul on the line. It is the model that has to deliver everything at once. Luxury, technology, performance, safety, and design, without making a single compromise in any of those areas. That is an enormous amount of pressure for any vehicle to carry. And every time a new generation arrives, the automotive world watches closely to see if Mercedes can hold the standard. With the 2027 model, what has been reported and anticipated suggests that Mercedes is not simply meeting that standard. They are reportedly raising it higher than it has ever been set before. We are looking at an overhaul that touches every dimension of the car simultaneously. The exterior design language, the interior material quality, the technology ecosystem, the powertrain lineup, and the overall cabin experience. A generational leap this comprehensive does not happen by accident. It happens when a company decides to make a definitive statement to the world, and Mercedes appears to be ready to make theirs. Let us talk about how this car looks, because the 2027 E-Class is expected to arrive wearing a design that stops people in their tracks in a way this nameplate has not managed in years. Mercedes has been on a deliberate and disciplined design evolution across their entire lineup. With each new model, they have been moving toward proportions that are sharper, more intentional, and more commanding. With the 2027 E-Class, that entire evolution reportedly reaches its most refined expression yet. Up front, anticipate a grille structure that is wider and more assertively framed than the outgoing generation. It is not aggressive the way performance-oriented vehicles announce themselves. It is dominant in a quieter and more confident way, the kind of presence that commands attention without demanding it. The headlight architecture is expected to continue Mercedes' progression toward razor-thin, precision-cut lighting signatures. And if the reports hold, the 2027 units will not simply illuminate the road ahead. They will reportedly be deeply integrated into the vehicle's driver assistance systems, dynamically adjusting their output pattern and intensity in real time based on road conditions, vehicle speed, and oncoming traffic. This is lighting that thinks. Along the body, expect cleaner and more fluid surfacing than before, fewer lines, more intentional curves, and the kind of surface discipline that only comes from a design team confident enough to remove rather than add. The overall silhouette reportedly maintains the elegant fastback roofline that has been a signature visual element of this car for decades. Around back, look for a full-width light bar that connects both taillights in a continuous horizontal sweep across the trunk lid. It gives the car tremendous visual presence after dark, a sense of width, and a level of sophistication that photographs beautifully from every angle. In whatever colors Mercedes brings to this generation, and expect the palette to include some genuinely striking new options, this car is reportedly going to be one of the most visually compelling vehicles in its segment. Now we step inside, and this is where the 2027 E-Class is expected to genuinely reset what buyers in this segment believe is possible at this price point. Mercedes has always understood something that separates truly exceptional luxury cars from merely expensive ones. The interior is not just a space you occupy during a commute, it is an environment you inhabit. And every detail of that environment communicates something about the quality of the vehicle and the respect the manufacturer has for the person sitting inside it. With the 2027 E-Class, that philosophy is reportedly being applied at a level closer to S-Class territory than any previous E-Class generation has achieved. The centerpiece of the cabin is expected to be an evolution of the MBUX superscreen architecture. That sweeping, curved display structure that transformed the current E-Class interior into something resembling a private business lounge rather than a car cabin. For 2027, anticipate this display system to be wider, sharper in resolution, and even more seamlessly embedded into the overall dashboard surface. Material quality is reportedly being elevated across every surface that your eyes land on and your hands rest against. Open-pore wood with authentic grain depth, Napa leather extending across door panel sections and dashboard areas that rival vehicles handle with synthetic substitutes. Metal trim elements finished with tolerances that call to mind precision watchmaking rather than automotive manufacturing. Front seating is anticipated to feature a multi-contour design with expanded lumbar adjustment, side bolster control, ventilation, heating, and a massage function that is reportedly genuine in its therapeutic effect, rather than simply present as a checkbox feature. Rear passengers are expected to be welcomed into a meaningfully improved experience compared to the outgoing model. More legroom, a reclining seatback function in higher configurations, and a cabin ambiance that makes being driven in the back of a 2027 E-Class feel like a genuine occasion. The ambient lighting system is anticipated to step forward considerably. Reports suggest a mood-adaptive feature that reads your selected drive mode and automatically adjusts the interior color temperature, lighting scene, and intensity without requiring any manual input from you. Right here is where the 2027 E-Class separates itself from everything else competing in this segment. Pay close attention to this section, because what Mercedes is reportedly doing with technology in this generation goes several levels beyond a software update or a larger screen. The MBUX platform for 2027 is expected to arrive in its most advanced form to date. But the advancement is not simply about processing speed or display resolution. It is about fundamentally deepening the relationship between the vehicle and the driver. The voice assistant integrated into MBUX is reportedly being developed to move well beyond the command and response format we have all become accustomed to. The anticipated direction is a conversational intelligence system, one that builds a profile of your individual preferences over time, reads contextual cues from your environment and schedule, and begins anticipating your needs before you verbalize them. Your preferred cabin temperature on a Monday morning, the route you take during the evening commute, the music you default to after a long day at the office. The car is reportedly being designed to know all of it and act on it proactively. Now, here is the feature I mentioned at the very beginning of this video, the one that deserves far more attention than it is currently receiving anywhere in the automotive media. Insider reports indicate that Mercedes is developing what is being described internally as a predictive wellness integration system for this generation of the E-Class. Using biometric sensors embedded within the steering wheel rim, a pressure mapping system beneath the driver's seat surface, and continuous cabin air quality monitoring, the 2027 E-Class is reportedly capable of simultaneously tracking driver fatigue levels, physiological stress indicators, and environmental comfort variables in real time. And the truly remarkable part of this system is not the detection, it is the response. Rather than simply alerting you with a warning message, the system is anticipated to respond autonomously, adjusting the ambient lighting temperature, activating seat ventilation, modulating the infotainment audio level, and introducing subtle fragrance diffusion through the climate system, all working together to guide you back toward an optimal state of alertness and physical comfort, without a single button press, without a single spoken command, completely automatic and completely invisible. If that level of attentiveness sounds like something you would expect aboard a private aircraft rather than a sedan, that is precisely the statement Mercedes appears to be making. Beyond that headline feature, expect wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as standard, a premium audio system in partnership with a world-class sound engineering brand, full over-the-air update capability, integrated fifth-generation cellular connectivity, multi-device wireless hotspot support, and a digital key system compatible across all major smartphone platforms. Let us get into the powertrain lineup, because the 2027 E-Class is expected to offer a range of engine options broad enough to cover every buyer in this segment, regardless of how they prioritize performance against efficiency. At the entry level, anticipate a turbocharged four-cylinder engine producing somewhere in the range of 255 to 275 horsepower. Paired with Mercedes' highly regarded 9-speed automatic transmission, this configuration is expected to deliver smooth, composed, and completely effortless performance that suits the overall luxury character of the vehicle perfectly. It is never slow. It is simply unhurried. Moving up the ladder brings you to the inline-six configuration, arguably one of the most satisfying engine families being produced anywhere in the luxury automotive segment today. In what is expected to be an E450 or equivalent variant, output figures in the range of 375 to 400 horsepower are anticipated, with mild hybrid integration improving both efficiency and the low-end torque response that makes highway merges and passing maneuvers feel effortless. For the majority of American buyers considering this car, this powertrain tier is likely to be the sweet spot of the entire lineup. For those who want more, the AMG Performance variants are expected to carry significantly greater firepower. An AMG E53 equivalent configuration could reportedly deliver somewhere in the 450 to 500 horsepower range from a twin-turbocharged six-cylinder, while an AMG E63 successor could push toward the 600 horsepower mark. At that level, you are getting genuine sports car performance wrapped inside a premium luxury sedan body. Plug-in hybrid variants are expected to continue in the lineup, with an all-electric range anticipated to be meaningfully extended beyond the current generation. Mercedes' proven four-wheel drive system is anticipated to be available across most of the powertrain range, and an adaptive suspension, likely air-based on higher configuration levels, is expected to deliver that signature Mercedes duality of a completely composed ride when you want serenity and a more planted and controlled dynamic response when you want engagement. All the engineering in the world ultimately tells only one story, and that story gets written the moment you press the accelerator and feel what the car actually does. The 2027 E-Class is expected to deliver the driving experience that has defined this nameplate at its absolute best throughout its history, one that is simultaneously refined and alert, composed and responsive, and completely luxurious without ever feeling disconnected from the road beneath it. Steering feel is reportedly receiving deliberate recalibration for this generation. Mercedes appears to be addressing feedback from automotive press and owners, suggesting that recent E-Class models, while supremely comfortable, could feel slightly removed from the driver at the helm. The goal for the 2027 generation is steering weight and directional response that feels genuinely communicative when you want engagement, and perfectly relaxed when you simply want to cruise. Ride quality, particularly with the anticipated adaptive air suspension at higher trim levels, is expected to be exceptional in the most literal sense of that word. The kind of ride that makes broken urban asphalt feel like a distant suggestion rather than a physical experience. You will know intellectually that the road surface underneath you is imperfect. You simply will not feel it the way you would in any lesser vehicle. The 9-speed transmission is expected to be freshly calibrated for quicker and more decisive gear changes in dynamic mode, while remaining virtually imperceptible in comfort settings, shifting so smoothly that passengers in the rear cabin may not even register that it happened. And on the open American highway, on a long straight stretch with the sunroof back and the audio system doing what it is reportedly built to do, this car is expected to be one of the finest long-distance companions that money can purchase in this price range. Safety is no longer a secondary conversation for luxury car buyers in this country. It has become a primary factor in the purchase decision. And the 2027 E-Class is expected to deliver at the absolute leading edge of what production vehicles can currently offer in this area. The sensor architecture for this system, integrating forward and rear radar, multiple camera arrays, and ultrasonic detection across a wider perimeter than before, is anticipated to enable more accurate and more confident system responses across complex and unpredictable real-world driving scenarios. Adaptive cruise control with full stop-and-go functionality, active lane-keeping assist, and automatic emergency braking with detection capability for pedestrians and cyclists are all expected as standard or near-standard features across the lineup. The more advanced assistance suite is reportedly being enhanced with navigation-based speed intelligence. The system reads your active route data in real time and proactively adjusts your vehicle speed ahead of mapped curves, intersection approach zones, and posted speed limit transitions. It is not reacting to what is already in front of you. It is anticipating what is coming before it arrives in your field of view. A newly anticipated lane change safety function is expected to move beyond simply alerting you to vehicles in your blind spot. When you activate a turn signal and the system simultaneously detects a fast-approaching vehicle in your intended path, it is reportedly designed to provide gentle counter-steering assistance to delay or redirect your maneuver. Parking assistance is expected to be comprehensive and precise, with a multi-camera surround view system delivering exceptional situational clarity, and an automated parking function capable of managing parallel, perpendicular, and tight urban parking scenarios with minimal required input from the driver. Let us talk about the number that separates curiosity from an actual purchase conversation, and that number is the price. The base 2027 Mercedes-Benz E-Class is anticipated to start somewhere in the range of $65,000 to $70,000 for the entry-level configuration in the United States. That represents a modest step up from the outgoing model's starting point. But given the expected technology content, the elevated material quality, and the expanded standard feature set, that premium appears genuinely defensible. Mid-tier configurations, pairing the inline-six engine with the full MBUX Superscreen display and the expanded driver assistance package, are expected to land somewhere in the $75,000 to $90,000 range, depending on selected options. This tier is likely where the majority of American buyers will ultimately land. Fully optioned non-AMG variants in the flagship trim level could approach or exceed $100,000. The AMG lineup is anticipated to start around $85,000 to $90,000 for the entry AMG configuration, with the top-tier performance version likely crossing into the $110,000 to $120,000 range. For the buyer who wants a vehicle that earns a second look every time it rolls into a parking structure, delivers a cabin experience that impresses every passenger, and carries the three-pointed star with complete and authentic sincerity, the price range the 2027 E-Class is expected to occupy represents one of the strongest value propositions in the luxury market today. Any serious examination of the 2027 E-Class has to include a direct look at who it is competing against, because this is a segment with genuinely excellent alternatives, and Mercedes is fully aware of every one of them. The BMW 5 Series is the closest and most directly relevant rival. The current generation of the 5 Series is legitimately impressive. Dynamically capable, technologically sharp, and offered with a bold interior design that has earned genuine praise. BMW's core strength is driver engagement and a slightly more athletic overall personality. What the 2027 E-Class is expected to counter with is a deeper and more complete sense of luxury occasion, a cabin that surrounds you with a more immersive atmosphere, a technology ecosystem that is wider in scope and more deeply integrated, and a ride quality that prioritizes your physical comfort more consistently. The BMW is built for the driver who leads with their instincts. The Mercedes is built for the man who leads with his standards. The Audi A6 brings the understated precision and clean cabin architecture that Audi has long been respected for. It is a beautifully constructed automobile. But Audi has historically played a conservative game in powertrain ambition at this price point, and the technology experience is expected to fall short of the depth and sophistication that Mercedes is anticipated to deliver with the 2027 MBUX ecosystem. The Genesis G80 deserves genuine acknowledgement. It is visually striking, impressively equipped at its price point, and represents a legitimate alternative that makes many European luxury buyers stop and reconsider. But brand heritage is a real factor in this segment. The weight of what a Mercedes-Benz represents, the engineering legacy, the global service infrastructure, the cultural currency of the three-pointed star is something Genesis is still in the process of building. The conclusion from any honest competitive analysis is the same. The 2027 E-Class is not simply expected to compete in this segment. It is expected to set the standard that every competitor will be measured against going forward. We have covered the specifications. We have walked through the design and the technology and the performance and the pricing. But before we get to the final verdict, I want to take a moment to talk about the thing that makes the 2027 E-Class genuinely special, at a level that no specification sheet will ever be able to fully capture. Every automaker has a model in its lineup that defines who that company truly is at its core. For Mercedes-Benz, that model has always been the E-Class, not because it is the most expensive car they produce, not because it carries the most powerful engine, but because it is the car where Mercedes has to prove, generation after generation and decade after decade, that they have not forgotten who they are and what they stand for. The S-Class exists to showcase what is possible at the absolute limit of automotive engineering. The C-Class exists to serve the widest possible audience, but the E-Class exists to answer the most demanding question in the luxury automotive world. Can you genuinely deliver everything, all at once, without meaningful compromise in any single area? Comfort and performance, advanced technology and intuitive daily usability, distinguished design and practical real-world utility, safety leadership and driver engagement, aspirational presence and genuine ownership value. The 2027 E-Class, based on everything anticipated about this generation, appears to answer that question with the most confident and comprehensive affirmation this nameplate has ever produced. This is a car being built by people who understand that the buyers in this segment do not need a vehicle. They are choosing one. And that choice carries weight about quality, about identity, about what a person believes represents the appropriate reward for where they are in their life. The 2027 E-Class appears to be Mercedes communicating clearly and directly. We understand exactly who you are. We know precisely what you expect, and we built every dimension of this car for you. That, gentlemen, is what makes this car special. Here is the final verdict on the 2027 Mercedes-Benz E-Class. Is this car perfect? No vehicle ever is. And until the official reveal drives are published and real-world ownership begins, there will always be nuances and trade-offs that no amount of pre-launch analysis can fully predict. But here is what I can tell you with full confidence based on everything that has been reported, analyzed, and anticipated about this generation of the E-Class. The 2027 Mercedes-Benz E-Class is shaping up to be the most comprehensively capable version of this automobile that has ever been produced. The design advances the visual identity with genuine boldness. The technology elevates the ownership experience with real intelligence. The powertrain lineup provides meaningful performance at every tier. The interior experience goes further toward genuine luxury than anything this nameplate has previously offered at this price point. And the anticipated safety suite places it at the leading edge of what any production vehicle in this segment currently provides. For American luxury car buyers, whether you are upgrading from a previous generation of the E-Class, actively cross-shopping the European competition, or simply searching for the finest expression of what a luxury sedan in the $65,000 to $100,000 range can deliver, this vehicle belongs at the very top of your consideration list. This is not simply a new model year from Mercedes. This is a statement about the direction the entire luxury automotive segment is heading. And if the 2027 E-Class delivers on everything that has been anticipated, the competition is going to have a very serious problem on their hands. Rating 9.4 out of 10. One of the most anticipated luxury sedans of the decade, and everything we know suggests it is ready to earn every bit of that anticipation. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the latest automotive innovations, make sure to subscribe to Auto Elite World, turn on notifications, and let us know in the comments what you think about this vehicle. Do you think the 2027 E-Class has what it takes to dominate the luxury sedan segment, or do you think the competition still has an answer? Drop your thoughts below. I read every single comment personally. Thanks for watching, guys. I will see you in the next one.